these are the ingredients for Daisy's cake, and you can also use them as treats. So, we have papaya here and pineapple, and we're gonna give some cake to Jasper too. So we don't want. Well, he's never used to eating papaya and pineapples. Well, pineapple and papaya. So we have to not have these. And then you have cranberries. And this is puree. We have apples and carrots in here. And we put them in the food processor, or you could use a blender. And these are crushed oats. They look more like powder. Well, that's how we're going to make them. So, yeah, this is hay that we also put in the processor. And this is pellets, and I think we have too much, so yeah, we're probably going to get a big cake. And yeah, as I said before, Daisy's turning 1 today. And yeah, the puree is there because it's a wet ingredient and it binds all the dry ingredients together. And yeah, I think I said this before, there's apples and carrots in it that we used. And yeah, those are our ingredients. And you put them in a preheated oven, and I think it's about 300 degrees that you put them in, and the oven has to be preheated. So yeah, you'll get to see the cake when it's done. This is what you get after grinding all your ingredients together. And you can make it as wet as you want. Really, we want it to be more like a cake, so we didn't make it too dry and crunchy. So yeah, we put some water in it to make it nice, and this is how it'll look. Yeah.
And this is a leftover one.
And we have a lot of leftover pellets right over there. So yeah, and this is about the size pan we're using. It's about 1 foot by 8 inches or something, because yeah, we want him to have a big cake. And yeah, that's their mix that we made them. And we're gonna put it in the oven. You put it in the oven for about 20 minutes, and you preheat the oven, and then you put it in the oven for about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. And then you just put it in and
bake it for 20 minutes.
Yep. This is our mix in the pan, and before you put it in the oven, you should probably spread it out, because you could probably have big heaps. That would be nice or something, but we wanted to make a cake, and it did end up a little flat, but I think she'll like it like that for Daisy and Jasper. But if you want it a little smaller, because ours was kind of big, you can use this type of one. It's about 6 inch by
8.
Yeah, 8 by 8 inches. It's the right size for them if you have about 2 bunnies. Yeah. And yep, there's our cake mix. Also, we pre-cut the cake so that, after you bake it, it might end up being a little crunchy and you might not get the perfect squares. So these squares are about 1 inch by 1 inch squares. We have little tiny bits at the end in case they don't like the big squares. And yeah, that's how we did it. Okay, this is how the cake looks like when they're done. And we put the cake in the oven. The first 25 minutes we put it in the oven for 300 degrees, and for the last 5 minutes, that made it 30 minutes, we put it in the oven for 400 degrees. So instead of 20 minutes, this turned out to be 30 minutes. And yeah, they're pretty good, and they smell real good. Yeah.
Once it cools down, you just need to flip it off and then take the squares and let the rabbits enjoy
Yep.
once they get cool.
And if you want your rabbit to have like a little special occasion or something, you can put them in a little Dixie plate, the paper one, so that they don't get harmed or anything. And yeah, you can make it look a little fancy. Put some lettuce by the side and do all that stuff.